I hope that this video popping off isn't disturbing his peace with the algorithm he was talking about.
456 people survives the longest wins 456 grand.
It's a show about a bunch of people who are in debt in South Korea. And they get invited to a place to play a series of games where the winner at the end of all of these games will win an amount of money that is so large that it would solve all their money problems.
Squid Game, the 2021 sensation turned 2025 sensation. It's not a perfect show, but it's a damn near perfect premise. 456 people enter a competition, and in the end, there's only one very traumatized winner. Squid Game was a cultural juggernaut. People loved this show. And I should know, it was YouTube culture in 2021, whether you knew Squid Game or not. You knew Squid Game. Unfortunately, I don't really think a lot of these YouTube recreation videos really got the point of the original Squid Game. It had layers, commentary even, and a lot of these videos lack that. And that's fine, but some of them are entirely antithetical to the main point of Squid Game. And that's something I want to talk about. So that's what we're going to do. That's right, this is a YouTube media literacy audit. It's ink. It's like printer ink. Squid Game Season 1 was very different from what I had expected. I thought, going in, it would be a bunch of people playing a game, and if you lose, you die, and that's like funny. I thought we'd get a very minimal view into the machinations of how this Squid Game was created. Luckily, I was wrong. In fact, you get a whole sister plot dedicated to picking apart this brutalist, childlike machine. It turns people into bodies, games into torment, fear into complacency, cigarettes into smoked cigarettes.
You could have brought anything you wanted to. And you brought fucking cigarettes.
The vibe of this show, the aura, if you will, is instrumental to that feeling. The longer you sit with this world, the more you feel involved in these hour-long episodes. The fluorescent lighting, the winding color block staircases to nowhere, the eerily nostalgic yet uncanny playground, the pink guards with their shape masks and really scary song. Don't. It's scary. Stop. It's scary. Stop it. It's not. Stop. And by the way, it's a major feat for any piece of art to justify its entire runtime. So many shows out there feel like they're crawling to that 1 hour mark, but basically never in Squid Game.
I don't think I was bored at any point in any of the episodes.
Yeah.
This show is fantastic. It works on so many layers, far past just poverty is bad. Even the guards enforcing the system are not happy. Clearly, look at their lives. Look at how trained they are to just follow their superiors blindly. They'll kill blindly. This isn't a life worth living either. Nobody's succeeding except for a couple people at the top. Huh. Interesting. None of that is to say Squid Game is some artsy-smartsy, art house, pretentious film. Wavelength, I hate you. I was really afraid going into this that the entire meaning of the show would be hidden behind metaphors and baffling artistic decisions. But no, Squid Game is for the people. Its messaging is clear and strong, and that's a good thing. That does not make you lesser than the greats or something, dude. That's a great thing. I think there's a real problem with modern media. Everyone thinks they need to be extra meaningful, but in the process they end up erasing any actual meaning to what's going on. How are you supposed to convince people to watch what you make if on a baseline level everything is weird and doesn't track? Joker Fola Adu is so confusing, I don't even know how to say the name. And that sucks because I really like the meaning behind the meaning. I just wish the meaning was good. My point is, you shouldn't have to do homework to get something out of a movie. In an interview with The Guardian, the creator of Squid Game, Hwang Dong-hyuk, had this to say. I wanted to create something that would resonate not just for Korean people, but globally. This was my dream. I think he did it. It's a damn good time. It's a fun watch. It's scary, there's blood, but it's good. Once you enter Squid Game, you damn near immediately bond with these characters. All of these people have gotten into years worth of debt. They have to scrape and claw to get where they want to be. Even if you don't know who they are on some personal level and haven't really seen them outside of the game, you get that struggle. 456, the main character, is who I think is responsible for this. His never-ending sociability and positivity in the most dire of circumstances, essentially death row, is not only hilarious, it gives you the rare opportunity to allow yourself to connect with these characters.
Dude, they're fucking bonding. This is so funny. Why are they bonding? I fucking love this guy.
You, as the viewer, briefly forget about the likelihood of everyone you love here dying soon. You let go. You actually enjoy what you're watching. It's not just stress all the time. Because in that moment, 456 is desperately looking to break that disassociation from humanity that inequity presents. Out of all of the Squid Games, my favorite part is Season 1, Episode 2, Hell. I think a lot of people forget this one, but in Episode 2, they leave Squid Game. They get the opportunity to vote to leave, and they do. And for an episode, you get to watch these people go back to their lives and try to fix things with a renewed sense of purpose coming this close to death. Anyway, as soon as these people return to society, they're forced to make these awful sacrifices once again. Half these people have a week before they lose their organs and eyeballs to a loan shark. No, I'm not joking. It's no coincidence that the one episode titled Hell is the one where they're out of Squid Game. It truly is worse on the outside. I think it's a pretty common thought process to look at this totalitarian foreign world and think to yourself, damn, communism. But no, it's the opposite. It's capitalism, dude. I think there's this commonality in the corporate world to see the poor, to some degree, as lazy. You know, stop gambling, stop doing drugs, get a job. Oh, you have a job? Get a second job then. I can't believe you're not thinking about this one. But addiction is a disease. Gambling is a serious problem and it unequivocally targets the poor. Hey look, the gambling industry in South Korea has been steadily growing billions of dollars every year since COVID. And global poverty is sitting at 44%, which is the lowest it's been in ever? A while at least, right? My point is things are getting better, and I'm not trying to mislead anyone into thinking otherwise, but still, these numbers aren't great. You know, we shouldn't be popping bottles over 44% over here. I'm not saying gambling should be outlawed or anything even close to that, but I am saying it's a pretty good measurement for economic unrest. In the end, basically everyone comes back to Squid Game, even though they'll statistically die. This episode needed to be here. Otherwise, the whole time I'd just be thinking, man, it sucks they're trapped. This economic element is what separates Squid Game from Saw or Hunger Games. Hwang, in that same interview from earlier, is adamant that it's not a profound theme. It's just a theme. It's a very universal feeling that came to him during the 2009 global financial crisis. Capitalism is flawed. Go figure. There's a reason every video essayist under the sun has like at least 5 different videos that all conclude with that message. This is number 1 for me. There's a reason for this. It connects with people, so much so that Squid Game became the most watched show on Netflix within its first 48 hours in 2021. Netflix has a lot of accolades like that, but I think that's a pretty strong one. It beat Downtown Abbey, or Downton Abbey, whatever the
Bridgerton. I meant Bridgerton. I don't know how I made this mistake. Anyway, Netflix went on to capitalize on this anti-capitalist show as much as possible.
Which, like, this was inevitable, right? Squid Game was so huge, there was like 100,000 different tutorials on how to make the same 2-minute, 2-ingredient cookie from Squid Game. It can't be that hard. I guess I should prove myself, right? This is the part of the video where I should prove that I can do it. All right, yeah, sure.
Who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Know not who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Wasn't in my realm or wasn't in your sphere. Knew not who I was, but listen here. Dress D-R-E-S, yes, I guess I can start. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head one apart. Back, middle to the front, don't front. Want a good time, wanna give you what you want. Can I hear a hey?
It's not even big enough for the cookie cutter, dude. Oh my god. Okay, if you close your eyes, it's really not that bad. You know, Netflix didn't even pay Huang proportionally for the success of Squid Game. If Squid Game had done awfully, he would have been paid the exact same thing. Which is fine, he still got paid a lot regardless. He can afford as many turtlenecks as his heart desires. And he's back on for season 2. No, wait. No, yeah, that's... Hear me out. Probably tastes good though, right? Ow. I can only imagine what it must feel like to lose that level of control over something you spent 6 teeth making? Can you really lose teeth from stress? Oh my god. I don't know if that's a thing. I just think it's a great show and part of its message gets dampened by commercializing it. I gotta get out of this. Oh yeah, now we're talking, dude. Look at this shirt, dude. Machine wash cold, tumble dry low, subscribe to Beast. I think every truly great show has 2 things. A strong, snappy premise and a strong, deeper subtext. Squid Game has both. It pulls people in with this incredibly interesting premise, kind of Hunger Games-ish, if anything.
Phone numbers are fucking tiny there.
It gets people thinking, oh, what would I do in that challenge, you know? I would have tried this strategy. And then you start branching out. What would I do in this scenario, this social setting? What if other people are going to die? You start thinking about philosophy, you know, where do you draw the line? That's the trick with Squid Game. It doesn't work with everybody, but ideally it gets you thinking about something more than just what's happening on screen. Mr. Beast's Squid Game has a lot of snappy premise. Now, to be clear, this $3.5 million YouTube video is a technical marvel and miracle. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve. It's very clear about what it's trying to do. And hey, Huang even got a shout out at the end of the video.
And obviously, massive shout out to the creator of Squid Game. We took huge inspiration from the show, and I genuinely appreciate you. Goodbye.
That's why I think it's about capitalism. What the hell? This is this real?
Mr. Beast looks really unsettling.
It's fucking scary, dude.
All irony aside, this is good. This is a good thing to do. Crediting the creator, no matter how successful they are, is very important. In an interview, Dong-hyuk even said that the recreation was a great thing and that he was glad that more people were getting eyes on Squid Game. Mr. Beast's Squid Game has no deeper meaning, and that's okay. Sometimes you just want to express the love that you have for something without including all the deeper moral gray area stuff. That's completely okay. I haven't seen YouTube united as a community in that same way since. It really was a universal bonding thing, man. Everyone was talking about it. The Herculean amount of work YouTube legend William Osmond had to do to create the squibs for Mr. Beast's Squid Game on such short notice, oh my god.
We're doing the first test live for the customer. How does that make you feel, knowing that this is the first time we've ever actually tested this?
Oh, you know, super confident.
We ran a couple of tests and realized that the igniters weren't sealing properly, which is a really easy change to make once we get back.
Oh, that was great.
Just thinking about the amount of stress of that situation gives me stress. He should be able to retire right now. So yeah, this is my vote for YouTube Video of the Year 2022. Yes, I will be linking it at the end of the video. If you haven't watched it, I think you should. Or my video, actually. Or the Charlie Brown video. I guess you had to be there, man. Even with Squid Game 2 out now, it's not the same. It's a little upsetting how fragmented we've become as a website. The most universal thing we have now is the blank situation is crazy. What a time to be alive. It sucks. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube for any amount of time, you watched a video with an older creator being like, YouTube used to mean something, and now it doesn't. It used to be a community of creators. And they're right. I will say most of this video is just spectacle. I never really bonded with anyone participating in the games. Sure, there were genuine moments of connection-ish, but even then, the most powerful moments were taken from Squid Game. If anything, this video made me mad at humanity, man.
I'm not jumping.
Why?
There is no main character or follow through. Attempting to connect with this feels like picking a person out of a crowd and trying to understand who they are from what they look like and the sparse bits of conversation you hear as they walk by. But Squid Game brings you into this world. You see these people intimately. Not like that, but also like that. Squid Game works because it has this strong central web of human connection. Mr. Beast's Squid Game has scattered moments of something, but nothing really means anything. You don't get context to these people. I don't care about number 456 in this version. And I get it. Pacing and structure is really important. You don't want to damage that retention graph, God forbid. And you have these beautiful sets and cool ideas you want to show off, and maybe that's more important than showing number 135 being funny for 5 seconds. So Mr. Beast did what he could, but I don't know, I don't think it's very good. Obviously, it's kind of hard to talk about this without talking about Mr. Beast as a person and his philosophies, but I don't want to do that. I just don't. I think there's been a strong amount of controversy surrounding him, and as much as it would be an interesting topic, it's real, it matters. Journalism is important. I would not want to get anything wrong. I don't want to skew anything. I have not researched it enough, so I won't. But I will share my experiences with the Mr. Beast Corporation. So he does owe me $1,000.
What?
Anyway, I sent a couple emails to the fulfillment guys and we talked back and forth, and then they ghosted me, so I don't know what happened, and I've been too afraid to send an email since. Max from Feastables Fulfillment, you have my number. Actually, no you don't, you have Jeffrey's number. I gave you Jeffrey's number, that was a bad decision. You have my email.
Give them our phone number? Jeffrey, what's your phone number?
Other than that, not that much. I threw up in the American Dream Mall premiere of Beast Burger. Unrelated to the food, I didn't get to eat it, I had to leave early. So yeah, I figured ethically I should, report my experiences. Recreating Squid Game without the social commentary is fine as long as no one's getting hurt. After the release of Jimmy Donaldson's Fun Factory, Netflix wanted to try it for themselves. $15 million budget this time. I feel like we're losing the plot here. Anyway, more of the same here. A lot of really impressive production feat, but it's not nearly as cool as the Mr. Beast video in my opinion. It was more communal there. It felt more human. It had heart here. It had scope in a reasonable sense. This is just, yeah, of course, it's Netflix. Squid Game The Challenge also includes this really bizarre B-roll of all of the guards getting out of their living quarters and doing formation stuff. And it's weird because it's obviously fake. It's just recorded. It might as well be in the actual show. I don't understand it. Similarly, when someone is eliminated in the first episode, they kind of treat it like they die. They don't take the time to specify that really they're fine and here's how the pack works or whatever.
Obviously this is fake, but it's still shot and edited like they actually died. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Which, and I hate to do this, but Mr. Beast does it like 5 times, and I think it's an important thing.
It doesn't hurt.
Squid Game The Challenge has so much filler. It's crazy. It feels so bloated, but at the same time, I don't feel like I know any of these people. It's the same problem with Mr. Beast's video, but this time each episode is 50 minutes long and there's 10 of them. And the stakes and rules are re-announced to death.
Oh my god. 098 just got those other 3 eliminated.
We didn't need that. I'm so mad.
They just assume you're not watching. Like there's no other Like, actually, that's the reason. There's BuzzFeed lists out there of shows to watch while looking at your phone. This is a real market, and Netflix is looking to capitalize on it. 55% of Americans say that they use their phone as a second screen while watching something. Britain's the same. Canada's 51%. India's the highest with 60%. This is a real thing. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with this. I watch so many video essays while working on stuff on a second tab. You're probably doing it right now. I just think Netflix is making a false call by changing the structure of some of these shows. They shouldn't be doing it. It makes the viewing experience worse, not better. Like, if you want better retention, put Subway surfers or something. Come on, man. But worse than all of that by a lot, Netflix allegedly didn't treat their contestants very well. At all, actually. They treated them very not well. According to a pending lawsuit, temperatures were below freezing during red light, green light. The first game. The game with the most people participating. This made 2 of the contestants, both part of the lawsuit, suffer from hypothermia, allegedly. Turns out it would not be too hot on a set with 400 people. It's too cold. How do you mess it up that badly? What, were they filming it in January? Oh. Netflix's response to this really pisses me off too. We care deeply about the health and safety of our cast and crew and invested in all appropriate procedures. While it was very cold on set and participants were prepared for that, any claims of serious injury are untrue. They all wore very thin tracksuits. We can see the conditions, they're not good. I don't care that you set up a few tents during breaks. It's not enough. A few solid hand warmers, but it's not enough. During the actual challenge, they don't have those. Now, I know the response to this. They're trying to win $5 million here. It's not going to be easy. They can leave whenever they want. This is all true. But that doesn't make it okay to put people through these conditions. This is not what they signed up for. Netflix isn't some abstract force deciding these things at a whim. It's a company. And what people forget is that companies are comprised of people. Real people that allegedly made hazardous decisions that could affect 400 people. For context, this is 3 people, right? This is 400 people. When I hear Netflix justify this mistake by saying nobody got seriously injured, I question what they mean by seriously. Nobody died? You know, when I actually watched Squid Game, season 1, for the first time, when I was done, I didn't really understand why people were so frustrated by the misrepresentation of it. Which is funny because I made this whole video, right? But I didn't get it. So few pieces of art actually get the proportional amount of love that they deserve. So seeing Squid Game go so viral and get car commercials or whatnot, it's not good, but I get it. Watching the thing you love get reiterated on so many times where it stops meaning anything. All actual meaning is scraped away as it's distorted through a lens. It's the longest game of telephone ever. After 100,000 Dalgona cookie tutorials, you stop seeing anything anymore. It ends up being just mush. A McDonald's meal. Wait, you can just buy those at McDonald's? Where I spent so... whatever. To make it about me for a second, I've sunk a lot of time into this YouTube channel, and seemingly out of nowhere, something I've made for the first time in my life has done exceedingly well, far past anything I could ever ask for. And you know, I've been so grateful for that every day. I think about it all the time. And my biggest fear in the world now, my constant anxiety, is that whatever I make next won't have that same depth. And in watching these different iterations of basically the same thing, I have realized I don't think I need to worry about that. You can feel the love people put into what they make. I honestly think that's our 6th sense, or maybe our 10th, after like temperature and knowing you're gonna throw up soon. It's one of those, you can feel it. And that's what makes everything that I love good. Whether it's deep and introspective or just dumb fun. You can tell when there's love behind it, and that's like it, man. It just got so hard, you know? It got so hard to see things clearly for a while. And I was afraid that what I made didn't have depth. I can't promise myself I'll be doing this forever. Not to 50, maybe 49. But I love what I do, and that's enough. Thank you for watching my video. Very good show.